I know that I've said this before, Pat, that the most embarrassing and ignorant thing that Trump has done on the national stage just happened. And then a week goes by, and then once again I say, okay, now Trump has done the most embarrassing thing. And usually it's true because we think we've hit the top, or sometimes it's rock bottom, and then he does something worse. He might outdo himself in the future indefinitely. And that is where we are today. There's a stunning report in France's newspaper Le Monde, which alleges that Donald Trump did two mind-blowing things in April. So in April, Donald Trump met with the leaders of Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia. Now, if you hear those three countries and think, oh, there's something about those three countries as a group. Yes, they're called the Baltic states. These are three countries in Northern Europe that are now independent countries on the Baltic Sea, previously subject to USSR rule, I guess we could call it. I was in one of those countries over the summer, Estonia. Absolutely beautiful place, fantastic people, amazing architecture, culture, great food. Those three countries are the Baltic countries. Donald Trump confused them in front of their leaders with the Balkans. Now, the Balkans are not the Baltic countries. The Balkans are in a different part of Europe, about 1,000 miles away. They include Albania, Bulgaria, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, Macedonia, Montenegro. They ended up in their current state after the early 90s breakup of Yugoslavia. And geographically, you could say that the peninsula, the Balkan Peninsula, includes pieces of some other countries as well. Donald Trump confused the Baltics and the Balkans, and then he said something that made absolutely no sense. And according to this report in Newsweek, the leaders of the three Baltic states were just sort of confused, looking around like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And then they realized that Trump thinks that they are from the Balkans, not the Baltics. And what Trump said was that they are responsible for starting wars that led to the breakup of Yugoslavia in 1991. Can you imagine you're the president of Estonia or Latvia, whichever one of these countries, you've come out of the USSR, you've rebuilt the country, your country is a sort of beacon of success in a region that has had many political and economic problems. In Estonia, one of the most technologically advanced democracies in the world, you get invited to the White House. Wow, President of the United States, you fly halfway around the world, and the president says to you, you did a bad thing when you started that war that broke up Yugoslavia. And then you realize the guy has no idea where you're from. An absolute and total embarrassment. And Pat, this is what you get when you combine ignorance and anti-intellectualism with a political movement that sees that as a virtue and enshrines ignorant anti-intellectuals as leaders. You get the leaders of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania saying, what the hell is the president talking about right now?
And let's remember, it's been the U.S. that has been starting the wars in recent memory, namely the war in Iraq. But yeah, Trump just is not very good with geography. He referred to Namibia, the country in Africa, as Nambia. He doesn't understand the differences between the United Kingdom and Great Britain and England. He thinks those things are interchangeable. They're all the same. Yeah, he should just study up, I think. That's what it comes down to.
The right loves to slam the left for language policing, but they do their own language policing. And then the right likes to slam the left for identity politics. But then you realize, wait a second, the entire Trumpist movement, the alt-right, these are identity movements, and they happen to be horrible identity movements. And then the right likes to slam the left for virtue signaling, which they do just as much, if not more of, except with horrible virtues like those of dogmatic religious belief and anti-education ideas. They always defend this stuff the same way. Listen, Trump's not a lifelong politician. He can't know everything. He's making the right decisions, and that's what actually matters. If you're president, you get held to the same standards as other presidents. And misstating the wars that other countries have started, not knowing what countries' leaders you're even meeting with, these aren't like niche micro criticisms. This is basic stuff that's truly pathetic, and it's not making America great again. This is an absolute and total embarrassment.